quickly go over a quick brief down of order flow. So I've made previous videos on this. I highly recommend checking them out. So ICT and order flow, what we're going to cover in this video, right? So we're going to be understanding how to read a basic footprint chart, how to manage your emotions in the market, and my unique mechanism which combines ICT concepts with order flow. So when I say ICT concepts, I'm really referring to fair value gaps, because fair value gaps are the most important thing. Later on in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why they are the only thing you need to become profitable. Things like liquidity, power of three, all those things are kind of secondary, but if you can understand ICT and order flow, you can become the greatest trader you can possibly become, right? So what is the market? It's important to understand this. I'm going to quickly go over this. So the market is only an auction. It is not an algorithm. It is not a bot. It is not run by AI. Right? Yes, we have big players in the big financial corporations and institutions, i.e. banks. But from our perspective, sitting at home on our laptops with our internet connection, we need to understand the market in terms of two participants, right? So the banks, the institutions, the algorithms, whatever you want to call them, they all come down to two fundamental principles, right? Buyers and sellers, right? So we have the ask and the bid. I've been over this in previous videos. I recommend checking it out. We're going to get really much into this in this video. We're going to be understanding the buyers hit the ask and the sellers hit the bid. The only thing you need to become profitable, and I'm going to break this down later on in the video, is fair value gaps with market auction theory, right? So what are footprint charts? So footprint charts essentially give you two numbers, the bid and the ask. The bid represents aggressive selling or aggressive sellers, and the ask represents aggressive buyers, right? So you can see over here on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see some numbers. Any number on the left represents the bid, any number on the right represents the ask. Now, the numbers you see on the far right of the footprint chart, this refers to the volume, right? So the volume is just the bid and the ask. So think of the volume as the total number of transactions in that candle for that price. So market auction theory is very important because we discussed in the previous slide that there's buyers and sellers, but there's two types of buyers and there's two types of sellers. We have aggressive participants, aggressive buyers, and aggressive sellers, and we have passive participants, i.e. passive buyers and passive sellers. So we're going to be going over how you can use both aggressive and passive participants to catch great trades. And just a quick tip, you only need fair value gaps from the entire ICT arsenal to trade this properly. Fair value gaps aren't needed. So to give you some context, the numbers you see here, the bid and the ask, those are aggressive participants. So those correspond to number one, right? Those are aggressive participants. What we're going to be focusing on is passive participants, right? So we're going to be understanding what passive participants actually mean, right? So my unique mechanism is very simple, and this is how I trade. I look for a 15-minute fair value gap. I wait for the 1 minute to come into that fair value gap, and then I use order flow to trade properly, right? So let's break this down. So here we have the 15-minute time frame